Good morning. Today we are going to see the topic observation. Observation is nothing but neatly watching the external behavior of person in appropriate situation, controlled or uncontrolled. It is concerned with neither what a respondent places on paper nor with what he says in an interview. According to Young, observation is careful and systematic viewing of selecting situation and recording then and there what is perceived. In recent times, observation techniques have been refined and made more objective and reliable. Whatever necessary, audio and video recording devices, telescope and measuring instrument like thermometer, audiometer, stopwatch, etc. are used. However, observation is considered as a non-testing device. An example for observation, a teacher can easily guess that a student is highly anxious and excited by observing external symptoms like tempering of the hand, inherent speech, biting nail, similar such behavior. Procedures to be followed for good observation in appropriate situation. Observe the whole event. Observe only one aspect of an individual behavior at a time. Observe without the knowledge of the observed and record then and there what is observed. Observer should not mix his opinion and guesses with the observed data. Observation should be continuously carried out within the time schedule. Then, steps involved in carrying out a good observation. Steps involved in carrying out a good observation. Proper planning, determining the details to be collected. Through observation, the behavior aspect, incident to be observed should be determined behavior and the individual or group to be observed should be precisely indicated. Observers should be given clear briefing about places where observation should take place, timing, time interval, the minimum number of time an incident aspect should be observed and similar other predetermined detail. Selecting the method of recording the observations then and there and also the tools to be used, checklist, descriptive rating scale, scorecard, form to record tally mark, etc. Executing the observation skillfully and recording the data carefully. Studying and interpreting the recorded data. Steps involved in carrying out good observation mean first proper planning, determining the details to be collected through observation. The behavior aspect incident to be observed should be determined beforehand. The individual or group to be observed should be precisely indicated. Observers should be given clear briefing about places where observation should take place, timing, time interval, the minimum number of times an incident aspect should be observed and similar other predetermined detail. Selecting the method of recording the observation then and there and also the tools to be used, checklists, descriptive rating scale, scorecard, form to record tally mark, etc. Executing the observation skillfully and recording the data carefully. Studying and interpreting the recorded data. Types of observation. There are several types of observation such as participant observation, non-participant observation, natural, artificial observation and scheduled and unscheduled observation. Participant observation. In participant observation, the observer will find a place in the group where the observed in a member. By participation in a group activity, he can know very well the situation in which the group function. The observer can get the facial information about how the observed person behaves in a group, his performance, attitude, sociability, leadership, and similar other personality traits. Non-participant observation. Non-participant observation is best suited to observe infant, maladjusted individual, and similar other person. In this, the observer takes a position at a place where his presence goes unnoted and is also least disturbing to the group. For from where he can observe in detail the behavior of an individual under observation or some specific characteristic of a group. It permits the use of recording instrument and the gathering of large quantity of data. Of the several observation methods, observing in nature situation, uncontrolled observation and artificial or controlled observation are the only two types largely used in education. We shall discuss them briefly. Uncontrolled observation, observing students in the classroom, playground, library and common places without their knowledge is an example of uncontrolled observation. Controlled observation, we may ask a child to study in a silent room and then in a room with a lot of noise with a view to compare its learning achievement. In these two different situations, it could be found that the child different situation in could be find that the child learning efficiency is more in a silent atmosphere and less while it studied in a noisy environment producing distraction. Moreover, when the child studies in a noisy atmosphere, it has to take more effort and as a result get tired quickly. In this experiment, noise level is controlled and the child behavior learning outcome is compared in opposite situation. This experiment is an example for controlled observation. Then uses of observation. By observing a person, we are able to understand his mental state like happiness, sorrow, anger, excitement and other similar moods. In colleges of education, we try to in colleges of education, we try to evaluate a student teacher's performance of teaching ability through observation. To know about the personality of a person, observation tools are useful. Observing a person's behavior scientifically, carefully, and intelligently is required to understand his personality clearly. The other advantages of observation are observation is suited not only for individual but also for group. Observer need only a certain training for effective functioning. This method suit all age group and both the gender. This method is not expensive and may need only a few get observing an individual or a group in the natural environment provides reliable information. Observation tools can be designed to meet any situation. Then limitations of observation as a techniques of assessment. Observation Limitation of observation as a techniques of assessment. The personal likes and dislike of the observer and his own limitation will affect the quality of observation. Only expressed behavior could be observed. The inner feeling cannot be found out. Recording may not be done on the spot. The data recorded may not be accurate. Observation require more time, more patience, and a keen insight. Then self-reporting techniques. Then next one is self-reporting techniques. In this kind of techniques, the respondent himself provides answers to item in the given questionnaire concerning his characteristic or behavior, either orally or in the written form. The investigator gather answers from the respondent by reaching out the questionnaire to them, either in person, through post or phone. In interview 2, the interviewer asks questions to the interview and get his answers directly in a face-to-face situation. Besides, noticing his mood, like, dislike, fears, etc. Generally, for assessing attitude, interest, adjustment in behavior, and other personality traits, self-reporting technique are extensively used. Then examples for self-reporting techniques. The following are the important self-reporting technique used in the assessment of student: questionnaire, open ear, checklist, interest inventory, aptitude test, attitude scale. Woodworth personal data sheet, Bell adjustment inventory, the personality inventory, occupational interest inventory, teaching aptitude inventory, strong interest inventory are some of the popular self-reporting devices used throughout the world. Advantages of self-reporting techniques and answers are obtained directly from the respondent. The gathered response information are highly valued then large amount of data can be obtained very quickly and cheaply. Left out data could be easily obtained back. Hence, the data collected using self-reporting technique are highly reliable. Data obtained from closed form of questions can be easily tabulated and analyzed. And the next one is disadvantages of self-reporting techniques. Then the next one is disadvantages of self-reporting techniques. We cannot expect that all the respondents will be giving answers or expressing their ideas to items in these self-reporting devices completely and honestly without any hiding. Generally, respondents attempt to give answers to items that are acceptable to all. Therefore, it becomes necessary to check the truthfulness of the controlled data by cross-checking them through other sources. The reliability of the data collected using self-reporting devices is mostly low. There are changes for questions being misunderstood understood and answered accordingly. The answers provided by the respondents may be influenced by their mood and emotions at the time of answering. The self-reporting device. Most of the self-reporting devices contain fixed voice questions and lack flexibility. No opportunity is given to include supplementary or explanatory information. Low response rate. Then anecdotal record. This is associated with observation in everyone's life, particularly while young. A few noteworthy events occur. These incidents, the nature of his mind and the ability recording such episode and compelling them is called anecdotal record. Parent will not down the episodes in life of their children, but most of them will be subjective. They may distort the truth at least to some extent. Teachers should neatly observe their students and record the significant events or incidents that happen in their school lives then and there in their respective record. Thus, anecdotal record is a facial description of the meaningful incident and event which the teacher has observed. As the anecdotal record highlight the student personality traits, needs, problems in social adjustment, special abilities and such other information. It is useful to a great extent in providing guidance and counseling to the concerned student. Then definition of anecdotal record. Anecdotal record is the computing of significant incident in the life of a student. It is a compilation of factual description of meaningful incident and activities relating to student which were nearly observed by the teacher. Radha says anecdotal record is a report of the information about the significant episode which happens in the student life. According to Traxler, anecdotal record, as the name implies, involves setting down account concerning some aspect of people behavior which seems significant to the observer. An anecdotal record is an isolated incident of the behavior of the student which has some special significance. Anecdote can be compared to the snapshot of a camera which catch the force of an individual at the specific time among the sequel of action. Silent features of anecdotal record. Silent features of anecdotal record. Facial information about the important event in the student life will be recorded objectively. Insignificant daily routine of day-to-day life will not be find a place in the record. Only one incident at the time will be observed and recorded. Only one incident will be recorded in a card. Each card will be of 3x5 size. Card will enter of even will be arranged chronologically and maintained as a record. Every teacher will maintain separate card. Then behaviors from incident happening in various places like playground, hostel, laboratory, excursion, field trip, assembly hall, restroom and other places will be collected and included in the adult record. Description about an incident, even and the teacher's command, interpretation on it should be kept separately. Generally, an adult record will be kept confidently. Nothing about succeeding event will be added cumulatively. I will not be considered as a reliable straightly to collect information about the student. It is only supplementary to other methods of data collection. Then the next one is maintaining an adult record. Teachers should decide about which student have to be observed, when to undertake observation and how to record the information obtained every day. A specific time should be earmarked to record the observation note. Some teachers would like to record the observation then and there. Some others fix separate timing for observation and recording. If there is a long interval between observation and recording, the teacher may forget some of the details observed. He may add some observations which were never made. This affects the objectivity of the recorded nothing. Then instead of thinking of collecting an adult record problem, students only recording of numerous anecdote of all students is far better with the continuous supervision and help of the school counselor. Teachers should keep maintaining an adult record all the end of year. The information recorded in the adult record will be a part of the cumulative record and become an information file for providing future guidance. An adult incident may be recorded in a small sheet of paper or recorded in the blank form provided by the educational institution and then integrating them into small card. Two model anecdotal form are given in the form given below. Then the advantages of using an adult record. Students' behavior is observed under varied situation and as only reliable information is collected. This record is helpful in properly understanding the student personality. It is useful to cross-check the information obtained from other sources as the teacher is interested in his students and try to observe them continuously. He get opportunity to know about his student fully and get closer to them. Collecting information using the anecdotal straightly is very useful in studying the behavior of small children and the mentally retarded. The teacher, instead of criticizing his student, generally it will be more productive to offer his ideas and recommendation on the basis of accurately observed behavior. The limitation of anecdotal record. Limitations of anecdotal record and as activities like observing anecdotal incident, regarding them and studying them take a lot of time. The workload of teachers increase when the present behavior of the student differs very much from the recorded behavior. Other teachers who by change look into the anecdotal record may develop a wrong notion about the concerned student, as the incident recorded in the anecdotal record happens to be the important event in the student life, and exaggerated description may lead to misunderstand the student. Information record is the data record will be useful only if they are accurate and comprehensive. If the described behavior is isolated from the social background in which it happened, its real nature cannot become clear. The changes of occurrence of such incident which reveal the important behavior trait of student and they too inadequate numbers taking place now and then is very much limited. Observations of self-assessment, feedback through marketing. Then the observations are the nothing but naively watching the external behavior of person in appropriate situation. Controlled or uncontrolled observation is nothing but naively watching the external behavior of person in appropriate situation, controlled or uncontrolled. It is concerned with neither what is respondent places on paper nor with what he says in an interview. According to Young, observation is careful and systematic viewing of a selected situation and recording them and their what is perceived. In recent times, observation techniques have been refined and made more objective and reliable. Whatever necessary, audio and video recording devices, telescope and measuring instruments like thermometer, audiometer, staff clock, etc. are used. However, observation is considered as a non-testing device. Observation is non-testing device. Participant observation. In participant observation, the observer will find a places in the group where the observed is a member. By participation in the group activities, he can know very well the situation in which the group function. The observer can get the facial information about how the observed person behaves in the group, his performance, attitude, sociability, leadership, and similar other personality traits. Non-participant observation. Non-participant observation is best suited to observe infant, maladjusted individual, and similar other person. In this, the observer take a position at the place where his presence goes unnoted and is also least disturbing to the group, from where he can observe in detail the behavior of an individual under observation or some specific characteristic of a group. It permits the use of recording instrument and the gathering of large quantity of data of the several observation method. Observing in natural situation, uncontrolled observation, and artificial or controlled observation are the only two types largely used in education. We shall discuss them briefly. Uncontrolled observation. Observing students in the classroom, playground, library, and common places without their knowledge is an example of uncontrolled observation. Controlled observation. We may ask a child to study a silent room and then in a room with a lot of noise with a view to compare its learning achievement. In these two different situations, it could be found that the child learning efficiency is more in a silent atmosphere and less while it studied in a noisy environment producing distraction. Moreover, when the child studies in a noisy atmosphere, it has to take more effort and as a result get tired quickly. In the experiment, noise level is controlled and the child behavior is compared in opposite situation. This experiment is an example for controlled observation. Then uses of observation. By observing a person, we are able to understand his mental state like happiness, sorrow, anger, excitement, and other similar mood. In colleges of education, we try to evaluate a student teacher's performance of teaching ability through observation. to know about the personality of a person. Observation tools are useful. Observing a person's behavior significantly, carefully, and intellectually is required to understand his personality clearly. The other advantages of observation. Observation is suited not only for individual. Thank you.